We are now taking you live to Googong in New South Wales, where opposition leader Peter Dutton is speaking.
Because of a lack of competition, given the market concentration that Bunnings now has. And it's a similar story with Coles and Woolies. Yeah. Who are they? Well, I'm not commenting on those sort of silly things. I've been very clear about this. This is a policy I believe very strongly in. It's a policy that David Littleproud believes very strongly in. It's a policy that Angus Taylor believes very strongly in. And it's a policy, frankly, that Robert Menzies would believe very strongly in. That's the reality. So people can run off on all sorts of tangents. Our announcement, our policy is about supporting consumers. The Prime Minister can line up with Coles and Woolies and lecture the Australian people on what they should do on The Voice and everything else. But I'm prepared to stand up to Coles and Woolies because I want to fight for a better life and a better outcome and a better society and community and country. And we're prepared to make the tough decisions to do that.
Have you spoken to Coles and Woolies about this? They're obviously big employers across the country.
I've had many conversations with Coles and Woolies over the years, and I met most recently with one of the CEOs, and we discussed the issues. And again, I've spoken about divestiture powers to at least one of the CEOs. In fact, both CEOs. And I have a very good working relationship with Coles and Woolies. I don't have any problem in having a conversation with them because I want to be very clear about our intent here. And our intent is to bring grocery prices down. And it operates in the US, in the UK, in Canada, in Europe. So the Prime Minister's faux cries yesterday were just childish, to be honest. And if the Prime Minister doesn't have the guts or the strength of leadership to stand up to Coles and Woolies, well, I think the Australian public will vote for a party and for parties who are prepared to do so. We will make tough decisions to get our country back on track and to make sure that we provide for Australians and to put downward pressure on prices. The price of absolutely everything in your family budget has gone up under Labor, but it's only just the start. Your energy prices are up, food prices are up by 11.4%, and the prices of everything continue to go up.
These powers expanding to other sectors?
We don't have any plans for that, no. Yeah.
So no airlines, insurance companies. Okay. And can I just ask you about vitamin payment as well? The Prime Minister made some comments during question time yesterday that we're talking about it will explain the strategy that was being proposed for over a month. What did you make of that comment?
Oh, look, I think it was a political play by the Prime Minister. What you know about Anthony Albanese is that he's a lifer. He's been in Parliament for almost 30 years. He's a tricky political operator. There's no question about that. And what he's tried to do here is to spike the story of Fatima Payment, who clearly is going to go out into another party or into some independent, collaboration. I don't know what her plan is, but clearly the Prime Minister does. And I think he's trying to spike that story. I think that's what's happened there. I think what it does demonstrate is that the Prime Minister, if he's in a minority government in the next term of Parliament, it will include the Greens, it'll include the Green Teals, it'll include Muslim candidates from Western Sydney. It will be a disaster. If you think the Albanese government is bad now, wait for it to be a minority government with the Greens, the Green Teals and Muslim independents. That is not the formula for bringing grocery prices down and for getting our economy back on track. Inflation will continue to rage under that sort of a government, and interest rates will go higher, as we're seeing the Reserve Bank warn at the moment.
Just before we go, how much longer before we get those costings on the nuclear plant?
I know you're a patient person. They'll be here in due course. I know that everyone was calling for detail about the sites, and we released the sites. We were very specific about the sites, and everyone thought that was a big moment, and we had to, the pressure was on, release the sites. We nominated the 7 sites. They're all on end-of-life coal-fired power station sites. We believe in making sure that we've got renewables, gas in the system, underpinned by 24/7 zero-emissions nuclear power. Nuclear operates in 19 of 20 of the biggest economies in the world, and nuclear doesn't operate in one of those 20 countries, that's Australia. So again, if you look at the markets where nuclear operates, energy is actually cheaper, electricity is cheaper in those markets. And the Prime Minister's fantasy of believing that the IGA here can operate 24/7 on solar and wind, it's a joke. On an overcast day like today, solar and wind are providing very little. Solar and wind are providing very little into this community at the moment, and it needs to be underpinned by a reliable baseload energy, and that's and they wanted to know where the sites were. We've provided that. In relation to the costings, we've said we'll provide that in due course, which of course we will. Thank you very much. Thank you.